This is the Practical Homeopathy Podcast, episode number 166 with Joette Calabrese.
Hi, I'm Joette Calabrese, and I welcome you to our healthcare movement, yours, mine, and the countless men and women across the globe who have retaken control of their family's health with practical homeopathy. So, for the next few minutes, let's link our arms as I demystify homeopathy, what was once considered an esoteric paradigm, into an understandable, reproducible, safe, and effective healthcare solution available to all. This is the medicine you've been searching for, my unique brand of homeopathy, practical homeopathy. Hi friends, Joette here. I had some ideas the other day that I wanted to pass on to you. I asked myself, what is the one message I really want to leave with you? Something that's poignant for me in my life and perhaps might be for you. I was thinking if this were my last podcast, what would I say? What's at the heart of everything I teach? These are my thoughts. If you're new here, new to my podcasts, my blog, my courses, you might think it's just about fixing, eczema or chronic fatigue or whatever acute mess your families might be suffering in now. And yes, we deliver those practical protocols. I teach them because they work. Eczema? Well, here's the protocol that helped time after time. Postpartum exhaustion? We know the medicines. We've got them all ready for you. They're in my blogs. They're in my courses. Those will uproot the condition, and they're the upfront answers. They're what give you the interest and the excitement about being able to help yourself and your family, because they get pretty often fast results. But once everything clears, the skin clears, the energy returns, something bigger often dawns on moms and grandmothers and men too. They look back and say, oh my gosh, all these years, I've been slathering steroids on my children's arms and legs, and it's only gotten worse in the long run. Now there's asthma. Now there are behavioral issues. Now there are food intolerances, dairy, wheat, everything's off the table. What has happened? Well, my friends, you're not alone. I've been there too. What happened is we lost our freedom, our medical freedom. We handed it over to industries, pharmaceuticals, food giants, even governments who told us, this is the way. Take the pill, smear the cream, trust the experts. And we did. That's a collective we, because I was there too. We believed that the quick fix was the fix. So I started right where so many of you did. Except for me, my health was wrecked in my 20s and 30s before I had children. I had eczema as an infant all the way into high school. I had allergies, chemical sensitivities, so many sensitivities that by the time my kids came along, I had already been questioning and digging and trying to find answers. I learned. And the big ahas were that conventional drugs don't heal. They suppress and they kick the can down the road. And that suppression shows up later without us realizing what the connection is. And I guarantee that the doctor who prescribed it will not make that connection as well. The suppression shows up in gut issues, more allergies, more deepened allergies, more things to be allergic to, chronic fatigue. It's the same story in tens of thousands of cases I've taken over the years. Nothing new under the sun. Here's what I've come up with. Here's the easy rule I taught my kids, and it's a little oversimplified, but you'll get the idea, I think. I taught my children from an early age that whatever everybody else is doing, to do the opposite. That's the shortcut to clarity. So at least if nothing else, they're questioning. I can hand you the protocol for eczema. I can give you the protocols for fatigue, and it often works beautifully. But I hope what follows is an awakening, a little fire in the belly, a feeling of being duped, a feeling of being gaslit, thinking, why didn't anyone tell me that suppressing the skin condition would drive the problem deeper into asthma behavioral struggles, or gut dysbiosis. Now, this is not just moms and kids here in this part of the world. It's global. And too many doctors, good ones included, have been trained by Big Pharma. It makes them the retail arm of Big Pharma. No, they're taught diet doesn't matter. What you eat doesn't count. Herbs? No, don't be silly. Change your lifestyle? Nah. Now, I have to say, these doctors generally mean well, but they've been gaslit too. They've been gaslit through their education because their education is promulgated by an industry that teaches them to use drugs and only drugs. So the last few years have made it crystal clear. We've seen the forces at play, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know, it's like buying a red Volkswagen. Suddenly, Volkswagens that are red are everywhere. It's an old story. I don't even know if people buy and sell red Volkswagens any longer. But that's the idea. You hear the same story from neighbors, from church friends, from homeschool co-ops, fellow moms. We went to the doctor, got the drugs, and it got better for a short while. Now things are worse. Not right away, but months, years later, everything's worse. And we need to sing the same song in unison. Bring control back to the family. And of course, who does that usually? Moms and grandmothers. Because we notice the little nuances, the niggly truths that we'd rather ignore. We're thinking, oh, it's just a mild antibiotic for an ear infection. That's often what pediatricians will call it. It's no longer an antibiotic. It's a mild antibiotic to assuage the mother's fears. No, my friends, an antibiotic is an antibiotic. It's like dropping an 8-pound bomb on the gut. It kills the bad bugs, sure, but it wipes out the good ones too. And I'm sorry, even though I do believe that food can make a difference, no amount of yogurt, kombucha, or probiotics can fully repopulate what's been bulldozed unless there's true intentional work using homeopathy and even more intense diet. So the first step, I urge people to stop running to a professional for every little thing. Now, I've tried many paradigms over my 70 plus years. Since I was a child, watching my mother question things as well. Back in the 50s, my mother was questioning. There just wasn't an awful lot of information. The only way that's truly powerful, reproducible, and empowering is learning a handful, at least start with, a handful of homeopathic medicines and using them comfortably for your children, your husband, your elderly parents, your pets. Now, are there other pieces? Absolutely. Prayer goes a long way, without saying, I suppose. Good nutrition, real nutrition. We put clean fuel in our cars. Why not in our bodies and in our children's bodies? But my friends, I see practical homeopathy as the game changer because it gently stimulates the body's natural ability to heal itself. I've seen it over and over. A woman crippled with rheumatoid arthritis, even wheelchair-bound women, walking, living a near normal life with homeopathy and a few diet tweaks, not cured to tennis pro level, but free from pain and dependence. Now, it's not as complex as we're told. It's actually simple living, getting back to nature. Save the synthetic drugs for a true emergency. Not a relative emergency, a true emergency, like when you're hit by a Zamboni and you've been flattened on the ice rink and you need surgery or you face life-threatening infections. Not for a sniffle, not for cosmetic fixes, not for ear infections, not for convenience birth control, not for managing cholesterol numbers. These are all things that we can do ourselves without the synthetic drugs. I want you to start, my friends, by considering avoiding unnecessary drugs. And you might be surprised at how many drugs that you or your family members might be taking that are indeed superfluous. Then we can talk about uprooting the iatrogenic conditions they've created. Iatrogenic, great word. It's a very powerful word, and it's used in modern medicine. It's used to describe a disease or a condition that has been caused by a drug or a health professional, that the condition was caused by that. Now, most people think they haven't overused meds until they construct a timeline. And so I urge you, Get a long sheet of paper and a pencil with a good eraser because you'll change a lot as you go along the way, and you'll be filling it in, the blanks, and you'll be going back maybe a couple days later and another, oh my gosh, I forgot about this or that. And then list every antibiotic all through the years from the beginning of your life. Every antibiotic, steroid, reaction, painkiller, injections. And look at it with a good eraser because you'll forget half of them. I did this myself and I was stunned. Now, I haven't taken a pharmaceutical drug since the age of 32. Well, except for a local anesthetic for a tooth extraction and one unavoidable surgery years ago. So I'm now 74. My old conditions, eczema from infancy, allergies, should be worse because these diseases are progressive, but they've reversed because I learned something and then I focused on it. I skilled up. I used homeopathy and I tightened up my diet. So it isn't luck or good genes, my friends. It's possible for you too. So what is the message? My message to you from an older woman to everyone else is reclaim your freedom. Question, period. Defy, period. Take back control with practical homeopathy and good diet. Do this, my friends, and you'll be unstoppable. Why? Because the body wants to heal. It's in the mode of homeostasis. It just needs the right stimulus. Homeopathy provides it gently, powerfully, and without side effects. So that's the heart of it. That's what I'd say if this were my last message. You've got this. Your family's health freedom is in your hands. It's just a matter of learning. So, my friends, thanks for listening. Share this with a mom who needs to hear it. And I'll see you next time. It's my honor to share many lessons on this simple method of using homeopathy for free without affiliates or advertising here in my podcasts, but also my blog posts and Monday Night Lives. But it's critical that you learn how to use these medicines properly. These podcasts should serve as only the beginning of your training. Peruse joetteslearningcenter.com to find fun study group opportunities and in-depth courses developed by subject. So with the proper training, you can join the thousands of students before you in developing the confidence and competence to protect the health of your family and loved ones with my brand of homeopathy, Practical Homeopathy.
You just listened to a podcast from internationally acclaimed homeopath, public speaker, and author, the founder of the Academy of Practical Homeopathy, Joette Calabrese. Joette's podcasts are available on all your favorite podcast apps. To learn more and find out if homeopathy is a good fit for your health strategy, visit practicalhomeopathy.com.